Hello everybody, and welcome to an episode of The Father, the Son, and the Flying Spaghetti Monster. I am the Father, and today I'm going to be talking about Mike Huckabee, who some of you know is the 44th governor of Arkansas, who was a GOP candidate for presidency in 2016. Prior to his political career, Huckabee served as a pastor at Emmanuel Baptist Church in Pine Bluff, Arkansas from 1980 to 1986. At age 21, Huckabee was a staffer for televangelist James Robinson. Robinson commented on Huckabee that his convictions shaped his character and his character will shape his policies. Well, this has been shown recently in a comment that he says, I didn't get into politics because I thought government had a better answer. I got into politics because I knew government didn't have the real answers, but the real answers lie in accepting Jesus Christ into our lives. Well, that tells you right there where his loyalties lie and what's going to be pushing him in his term of presidency. This is also shown in another interview he did, that he claimed that if we had mandatory prayer and sermons in public schools, we wouldn't have tragedies such as Sandy Hook and Columbine. Now, obviously, this is absolutely ludicrous, and watching the video, he did kind of say his school that he went to didn't have shootings, and he attributes that one to the other, which is causation fallacy. But in 2007, he drew a lot of endorsements from religious activists, including Billy McCormick, who is a pastor in Shreveport, Louisiana, and a director and vice president of the Christian Coalition of America, and also Mr. Pat Robinson. Enough said about that one. Let's see, Mike Huckabee's opinion on abortion is he is strongly opposed to abortion, including in the cases of rape and incest. Mike Huckabee has voiced his opinion on same-sex marriages and civil unions as well, saying that while he respects America's gay couples, he in no way would adopt a legislation that would allow same-sex marriage. And when he went on to explain why he had this stance, he was quoted as saying, it's like asking somebody who is Jewish to start serving bacon-wrapped shrimp in their deli. Now, come on, that's not the same. We're not forcing you to marry gay couples. We're just asking that they have the same right as heterosexual couples. It's a human right that everyone should have, regardless of whether you agree with it or not. You should not pass legislation because of your religious beliefs. Huckabee has also voiced his support in intelligent design being taught in public schools on the basis that, quote, frankly, Darwinism is not an established scientific fact. It is a theory of evolution, which is why it's called a theory. And students should be exposed to all theories, including creationism. Now, if you know anything about science and theories, you can see the flaws in this all over the place. If not, I suggest you look them up, or I can do a video on them later. But I'd like to get more into this Mike Huckabee character. In 2007, Mike Huckabee argued for a larger military and increased defense spending, saying right now we spend 3.9% of our GDP on defense, compared with 6% in '86 under Reagan. We need to return to that 6% level. Now, I'm all for military spending, but do you know who else was a devout Christian and was pushing for military spending? Yes, you're right, Adolf Hitler. And I'm going to give a shout out to this book here. It has several quotes from Hitler himself, who says, "It matters not whether these weapons of ours are humane. If we gain freedom, they are justified before our conscience and before God. We demand liberty for all religious denominations in the state, so far as they are not to danger and mitigate against moral immorality of the German race, which would be the American race for Huckabee. The party, as such, stands for positive Christianity, but does not bind itself in the matter and creed to any particular confession." Now, this really worries me. This sounds a lot like Huckabee. When you have someone who is that hell-bent on not passing legislation for same-sex marriage, for equality, for pushing for higher spending in military, for pushing mandatory prayers and sermons in public schools. This is going to be a theocracy if we're not careful. And I'm just trying to get out the word that America, you need to be careful. We don't put in another echo of Hitler in office. This is the Father signing off. Flying Spaghetti Monster bless.